Hello again, YouTube universe. So, as you know, I like to show some of my books in my videos here, and here's one series that I am extremely excited to have, and that, of course, as you can see, is A Song of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin. And when I went on a huge collection kick of I guess it's 2016, so it would have been the beginning of 2014. I knew I had to have this collection, and I wanted all the first editions, first printings, and that's what I have here. Now, I have not read these books, and I know I have them. What am I waiting for? Well, I'm just too caught up with reading Stephen King right now, and because I'm reading his books in chronological order from number one all the way through basically Cell. Well, not to go off on a tangent, so back to these books. So these are all the first editions. So I'll go ahead and go through these. So here, of course, is the very first Game of Thrones. This started it all. And these books are very well made. They really are. They're just really good looking books. Very, very cool. This one's in really good condition. I mean, it's not an old book, but I think for any collector, especially from an investment standpoint, to have this series, I think it's important to have these books in decent condition. But there's some blotches here on the top pages, but no big deal. So let's look at these books more closely. So really nicely bound, just boards and cloth, it looks like. But you got George R.R. Martin's signature there. And when you open up to the end pages, you have the map of the entire landscape. So there's the north and there's the south. Okay, and there's your half title page. Beautiful title page. And these are very easy to recognize as first printings, first editions. You can see the number line there with the 1 on it. And there's little decorations throughout this book, but certainly no illustrations besides what you see there on the end papers with the map. I don't think there's anything different in the back end papers. Nope, just a repeat of that. So, and there's George R.R. now, who's being awfully slow and writing this 6th book. It's kind of, if you watch a TV series like I do, I don't know how they're going to proceed with the next season, but they are. So it'll be curious to see if that spoils anything for the readers. So the second novel here is A Clash of Kings. Beautiful cover. Absolutely beautiful cover. Just really nice artwork. So this one is bound like this, again with George's signature there. There's your map again on the end pages. Nothing changes. Book 2 of A Song of Ice and Fire. And again, there's your number line down there at the bottom. And same as the other book. It's a really decent quality book. The paper, as you'd expect with books this long, is very thin paper, but it feels good. It's not poorly made by any means. Again, just with different decorations throughout the book. So there's your second novel, Clash of Kings. The third novel is A Storm of Swords. This is a very fat book, but look at the artwork on this. I love it. I really do. I think it's an excellent cover. I think Bantam did a fantastic job with the artwork of these novels. It's hard to see, but you can see again, there's the signature indented into the cover. Book 3. There's your first printing identifier. Nothing new to show here. Again, just really is consistent in its design, isn't it? All the decorations are very similar through this whole series. There's Storm of Swords. Moving on to book 4. Feast for Crows. I really don't know why they changed the artwork on the covers to this point. I really enjoyed books 2 and 3. I liked that structure. Of course, the original is different than 2 and 3, but I actually also enjoy the first one. This is okay, but for me, it's a step backwards after improvements to 2 and 3. Anyways, A Feast for Crows, book 4. No changes. There's your maps. All red in this case. It is nice that they've kept the designs of the books consistent the whole way through. It really is. Okay. And book 5, which is the last novel, as we wait for number 6. This is A Dance with Dragons. This is another thick one. Not quite as thick as A Storm of Swords, but it's thick nonetheless. Alright. A new design on the front cover in this one, which is really nice looking. And I'm looking closely, and there's no signature. George R. R. Martin. I never noticed that before. There's a slightly newer update or slight design change to these maps on there. I think it looks a little better. There's your title page. Again, maintaining the same design as the originals. And there's your designation for first edition. Again, similar setup. The design itself on each chapter is slightly different, but still the same. I mean, there's nothing drastically altered in book 5 of this series. And then finally, this last one is actually a prequel. I think it's a prequel, at least. As it says at the top here, a century before A Game of Thrones, 2 unlikely heroes wandered Westeros. This was released, I believe, last year. So this is A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms with illustrations by Gary Gianni. Nice book, very nice back cover. So, okay. Look at these end papers. That's just awesome. Very well done. Very well done. So the illustrations are by Gary Gianni, as I said, and I think as you can tell, judging by those end papers, you're in for something special, I think, in these. So you can see, lavishly illustrated, really nice. I really need to start reading these books. If Stephen King wasn't such an amazing author, and I wasn't absolutely addicted to him like an addict, I would certainly be, I think, on these books now. So there you go. My first editions of A Song of Ice and Fire by George R. R. Martin. Hope you enjoyed this. More videos to come. Thanks.